Welcome to Cage Study, or Study in Cage. Still working on the title, but in this internet show I will be going through the filmography of actor Nicolas Cage, looking at the body of his work so that we can then step back and look at it as a whole when we're done, and once and for all answer the question, is Nicolas Cage the greatest actor of his time, or just fucking nuts? So, starting at the bottom of the IMDb, we have his first appearance as Nicholas Coppola in what is listed as a TV movie, but it was actually a TV pilot for a series that never got picked up. It is called The Best of Times. This is the only version of it I could find online, and after watching it, it's very clear to see why it never got made. So let's talk about the work itself first. The TV movie is about a bunch of teenagers just living their lives, fighting the man in that. The actors all play characters named after themselves, and there's a lot of fourth wall breaking going on, which for the time is very innovative, and, Crispin Glover being involved is peculiar in and of itself. But this is by no means an interesting or good movie, indicated as you see in the first scene here by the boom mic being in shot. Show about being a teenager that's overstuffed with characters, short scenes that aren't funny, but at the same time somehow run too long as well. No one knew how to end a scene. It was really uncomfortable, awkward to watch stuff. Apparently it was supposed to be a musical variety show, but they didn't cast anyone who could sing. There's 7 characters in this. One of them's in a band, and she doesn't sing in the band, and you don't see the band sing. But let's get to why we're here. Come on. What does Nicolas Cage do in this movie?
Well, wait, remember Rocky? Boy, what a movie.
Yeah.
The best scene was when Stallone kept hitting that side of beef. Remember that? He kept hitting that side of beef, just smashing it with his fist. That was all raw. Hit, smash, hit, making it all bloody. You sure did a job on that beef.
Nick,
Yo.
you ever see any Disney pictures?
He has a lot of energy, and he doesn't wear a lot of clothes. What a way to make an on-screen debut. At this point, 6 minutes in, I get the sense that they're trying to cash in on Stomp being a thing, and I'm thankful that Nic Cage is the only one who isn't singing any of these moments, because embarrassing as this is, imagine if he... Oh no, he raps. He does rap later on, kind of.
Tomorrow, wash the car and the paper on the floor. If you think it can't get worse, then you are wrong.
Clean our room, pick up our clothes, then get out the garden hose. And there's still a list of things for us to do.
Take our greens to the store. Wait a second, there is more. On our way home, stop and shop for dinner, too.
It does take 26 minutes for Nicolas Cage to get shirtless in this. I mean, his character is that of the meathead, so he is there to be exploited for his body, I guess. As a sign of things to come, you'll see he's very comfortably inhabiting a character regardless of how uncomfortable it is to watch. It's a really weird moment in this teenager show where Nic Cage is on a beach talking about how his character Nick is afraid of being drafted into a war. Another thing with this show is it switches gears out of nowhere so fast and so tactlessly that it demolishes the tiny bit of humor that's in it, because you worry each scene is going to be some, oh, are we going to get serious here? But Nic Cage is he's hamming it up here. He's trying to add some gravitas to this character that does not need any gravitas. This is not on him. This is on the terrible writing. Sure, maybe if he played it a bit smaller it would have worked, but at the time this is his first role. He's not developed his keen acting sense of when he needs to switch between Big Cage and Little Cage just yet. And no one can hold anything against the poor people involved in this project. These are all young actors trying to make their big break here. They didn't know any better. Something else weird to know here is, did Nicolas Cage have his teeth done at some point? He must have, right? Not that that matters, I'm just saying that's interesting. Look at those things. So, enduring the whole 40-some minutes of this, the interesting takeaways in terms of Nic Cage study are, it makes you ask, did he start doing cocaine at a young age, or did he always have this much energy?
Ah! That's what turns women on.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Then when you get their attention, let them do all the talking, and just keep looking in their eyes like this. women are sensitive. They can, pick up mental vibrations.
They can? Well, Nick, what do you think of when you're looking at them like this?
I think, quote, I am the most beautiful man you have ever seen. My magnificent biceps drive you wild with desire, unquote. Stuff like that.
There's fun stuff in there, like Nic Cage chatting up a bed. That's enjoyable. He's clearly enjoying himself, or at least his pre-developed acting style is so well applied here. It looks like he's enjoying himself. If anything, the only thing to take away from this is that it's one of his only 2 credits as Nicholas Coppola. He changes his name to Nicolas Cage in 1983 in a move that was either to separate himself from his famous uncle director, Francis Ford Coppola, or, if you ask the man himself, he was just a big Power Man fan and thought it would be rad to name himself after Luke Cage. So there we go. That is the first entry into the Nicolas Cage study saga. With all these movies that we watch, I'm going to ask 3 questions. Is it a good movie? Is it a movie that's so bad it's good? And finally, is it a good Nic Cage movie? Because this movie is so short, let's discuss what those questions actually mean. Is it a good movie? Is it cinematically interesting? Is it well put together? Is it well acted or well directed? For this example, no. I don't think anyone would downvote me for saying that. Is it so bad it's good? That's a more interesting topic. Is it a B movie? Is it schlock? Is it camp? Is there joy to be had in watching something that is so hastily slapped together or so full of unjust hubris that it's actually funny? Is The Best of Times 1981 so bad that it's good? No. The thing with schlock is that it has to stay in the one direction, if you get me. It has to be so silly it knows what it's doing, or it has to be so dedicated to the idea that it's not silly that it becomes humorous. This is, as I pointed out earlier, trying to be serious at moments, trying to be silly at others, and failing at both. So, no, not so bad it's good. Is it a good Nic Cage movie? Does the movie we are talking about exhibit Cagean properties, i.e., does he invoke the nouveau Cage acting method in which he fully embraces the character and goes nuts with it? Does he go to the signature highs of overacting that we'll come to see, or does he subtly embrace the more characterful elements of it? No. He flops his hair about, he takes his shirt off, and he does some weird dancing. So that's no's across the board on our first episode. As of the time of making this, there were 106 credits to get through, and this was but the first step on a long journey of Nicolas Cage study. Join me next time when we will be looking at Fast Times at Richmond High, which I believe is a cult classic that I have actually never seen, so that'll be interesting.